The US has charged 6 Russian intelligence officers for a series of global cyber attacks targeting the Winter Olympics and the French presidential election, among other events. The unit they're part of has also been accused of meddling in the 2020 Olympics. Their operations are reported to have caused billions of euros in losses. Alex Morgan has the story from the Keep.
Wanted by the FBI. That is the release you can see here from American officials. These are the faces of 6 men they say are prominent members of Russian security services, the GRU there, accused of being part of a vast hacking operation. A hacking operation that targeted everything from the 2018 Olympic Games to the French election. One area, though, they didn't touch on in this particular round of charges was the US presidential election, though, indeed, some of the individuals they're talking about here have also been accused of meddling in 2016. Well, the Assistant Attorney General in the US, alongside the FBI, had this to say.
Today, we announced criminal charges against the conspiracy of Russian military intelligence officers who stand accused of conducting the most disruptive and destructive series of computer attacks ever attributed to a single group. But as this case shows, no country has weaponized its cyber capabilities as maliciously and irresponsibly as Russia, wantonly causing unprecedented collateral damage to pursue small tactical advantages and fits of spite.
Well, on the same day that the US, if you like, looking back at these previous instances, the UK, this is the Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab, tweeting that they had uncovered attempts to hack the 2020 Olympic Games in Tokyo. Of course, those games postponed by a year, but the UK saying they had evidence that Russian security officials, not naming names as the US did here, but this Russian operation was going after the organisers of the games, perhaps to repeat what happened in 2018. Well, of course, we've seen the Kremlin deny the existence of these hacking operations. We've seen the Kremlin be accused this year alone of attempting to meddle in the US presidential election, attempting to hack into the vaccine research development. Now we're seeing, as you can see here, faces put to the charges, at least in the United States. What difference will it make? Well, you can see here there's a real escalation. Some people, though, some journalists suggesting that maybe putting this out now is a warning to Russia ahead of the votes in America.
Well, let's go to Moscow to find out more. We can speak to our correspondent, Galina Polinskaya. Morning, Galina. Now, as we just heard from Alex there, the Russian authorities have constantly denied interference and hacking. Is that likely to change now that there have been 6 formal charges?
Morning. Well, actually, we can't expect anything sensational this time. The Russian embassy in Washington has already responded with the arguments that we had definitely heard before. It said that the accusations have nothing to do with the reality and are aimed at stirring up Russophobic sentiments and launching a witch hunt. The Russian Foreign Ministry, quoted by the state RIA Novosti agency, said that those accusations are unsubstantiated and do not have any proof, that their goal is to create the anti-Russian atmosphere and that they are aimed mostly at the internal audience, especially ahead of the presidential elections in the United States.
This indictment accuses the officers involved of hacking the 2018 Winter Olympics. Russia were punished, of course, then at that time by the International Olympic Committee for a doping conspiracy. Can you just remind us of what happened there? Because there are similarities.
Well, it was probably the harshest punishment in the Olympic history. Russia was banned from the 2018 Winter Games in South Korea because of evidence of systematic state-sponsored doping program, and individual Russian athletes could apply, but the Russian state officials could not take part in those Olympics, and the athletes could not wear the state uniform. And back at that time, the International Olympic Committee said that this decision was based on a long investigation and that it has evidence that the state of Russia has a state-sponsored doping program and that had all started back in 2014 during the Olympics in Russia. And right now what we see are the accusations that the Russian intelligence was trying to undermine the Olympics in Tokyo. And we know that before they were postponed, the Russian athletes were also supposed to be banned from those games.
Galina Polanskaya, our correspondent in Moscow, thank you very much.